Ever since I purchased my Tesla Model Y, one of the first comments I always get is, it must suck to have to stop and charge that thing when you go on road trips. This morning, me and Winston are headed on a road trip from here, Indianapolis, Indiana, to Dallas, Texas, which is nearly 1,000 miles, to answer that question. How much does it suck? First stop will be Effingham, Illinois. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stops for charging. It looks like it's only adding about roughly 2 hours to the whole trip, so it could have been 13 hours adding the stops. Put it to almost 16 right now. We'll see what that ends up like, but first stop, Effingham, Illinois. Let's get on the road, get through the darkness, and get through some sleepiness. So we're approaching our first charging stop in Effingham, Illinois. We're a few minutes out, but I wanted to kind of circle back on some of my theories on road tripping with Teslas in general. So we left the house at full charge, which is 312 or something miles on my Model Y, and because it was at full charge and I was scheduled to arrive at this charger with about 30% battery, I actually drove a little bit less efficiently. So my average over the last, for example, 30 miles was 394 watt hours. And so I've kind of undershot what my actual depletion rate on the battery was, but I was trying to earn back some time on the fact that my battery was already full, because when I get to the charger, because of the way batteries work, they charge faster in the lower percentage of the battery. It made sense to me to kind of burn off some of the extra battery and gain back some time now, and then just kind of let it charge back up faster for the next charge, and so on and so forth down the line. Now, I don't know if that's dumb or not, but that's kind of my approach for it right now. So what I'm doing is, I've got the trip burn down chart here. You can see that it's projected to have, or I was supposed to arrive with about 30%, but as I knew that I was going to make it, I started to burn off excess in exchange for faster time to my destination. To get the ideal watt hour range, you're supposed to kind of sit somewhere in the 65-70 range of miles an hour, but instead I was pushing it more in the 70-75 and increasing that watt hour usage because I'm going faster and blah, 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 blah. So for the next leg, we're going to see what percentage is expected. We're going to get about halfway through that trip and then look and see where that burn down chart is and see if we still have excess. Then we're going to start to increase the speed until we are, getting closer and closer to breaking even on power. That's the theory. We're going to see how that pans out. But the only other thing I got to say right now is God bless auto drive. This guy in his freaking Honda Odyssey parked in a Tesla supercharger. So we're scheduled for 35 minutes. It's currently 7:24, so we'll see what time we actually end up leaving. But currently charging at almost 600 miles an hour, 130 kilowatt hours, so let's get it. How much time we got left? 15 minutes-ish. Let's ride. We're charging. It just made sense to us to keep Winston's boosted Mini, there you go, and my Meepo Mini in the back, and now we have access to everything that's around here within 3 miles. And then when we're done, pop it on the Outlaw, charge, and we can keep doing it over and over again all day. And that's the best way to hang out, waiting for a charge. Just having a skateboard in the car just changes your whole perspective on what life looks like on the road. This would be the case with a gas car too. There's no doubt, but it's just, I'm just happy. I'm free. I can do whatever I want. Not whatever I want, but I've got options. Oh God, this is rough. All right, let's go get Winston and get some dunking. Bye, buddy. Got some coffee. Back in the car. It's already charged. Let's go. We're back from our dunking trip. We got the boards back in the trunk charging off of the Outlaw 1072 on AC power. So we're ready to go the next time we need to go. We got 2 more buddies. This is the best way to road trip. Just the freedom to charge, stop, go. Oh, perfect. Okay, so we just finished our first charge in Effingham, Illinois. We started at like 7:26 or something. We'll put it in the description below. It's now 8:06, so we spent about 40 minutes here, but we let it charge way longer than we needed to. We're gonna arrive in Minor, Missouri with 10% remaining, but we also had a really good time riding around and getting some Dunkin' Donuts and stuff. So let's hit the road and get to the next stop. I'm having a blast so far. Are you having fun, Winston?
Oh yeah.
EVs on EVs. Okay, so this is what I was talking about earlier with the burn down chart that we've got. So right now we're sitting at 43%, and we were projected to have 10% when we arrive at the charger, but because of good efficient driving and doing things like drafting trucks a little bit, not like dangerously, just a little bit, we're now up to 14%, but we're only running at 66 miles an hour in a 70, so we can start cranking up that speed, increasing the watt hours that we're taking, and bring it back down closer to that projected range, which will basically make us arrive at the charger earlier, and we'll be able to charge faster because the battery will be lower. That's the theory. I don't know if that makes sense or if that's even like slightly logical, but I think that if I go faster on the road and get the battery lower, I'm going to charge that battery a little bit faster. I don't know. That's what I'm going with. But it's also how I get rid of my range anxiety, because if I am watching that percentage grow and then I can kind of speed up to bring that percentage back to where it's supposed to be, then I know that I'm not going to run out of juice before I make it to the charger. It solves two problems, right? I feel like I'm going faster, and I know I'm not going to run out of battery. Alrighty, so we are pulling into our, wait, what city is this? Something, Missouri. This is going to be our next supercharge. We're pulling in with 18 miles to go. So we're going to get our charge on, and then we're going to be able to continue on to Arkansas. But I mean, this is going so great. I did 2 stints in a row. That's like 5 or 6 hours straight of driving, which for me is pretty good because I get tired real fast. Isn't that right? I'm also on like so much caffeine, it's not even funny. We're gonna charge it up, get some lunch, and carry on our merry way. This is the longest charge of the trip right here, where we're gonna have to wait for 50 minutes, 50, to get a full charge to make it to Arkansas. But does this look like a terrible time? I don't think so. You just need to reframe how you think about traveling, and this makes it so much better. Just having a good time. Okay, so we just finished our longest charge of the trip. It was 50 minutes, 50 minutes scheduled, and we filled up to 94% of our battery so that we can make it to the next stop with 7%. It was a long charge because we had to go so high on the battery percentage. So that charge cost us $14. Oh, so I just woke up from a bit of a nap to an emergency?
I wouldn't call it an emergency. It was showing -2 range whenever we get to our charging station, but I wouldn't call it an emergency.
-2 means we're not gonna make it to our destination. That sounds pretty bad. What's up?
It did have a warning that says charging is going to be needed to reach your destination, but then I just reset the navigation computer and I was good to go. Now, so long story short, the issue I think we're having is, as we're passing flags and stuff, I've noticed each flag has been like pegged at the opposite direction. So I'm assuming 15-mile-an-hour winds. Just going in a straight line, doing 70 miles an hour with no one in front of us, we were getting about 400 watt hours per mile, when normally it's closer to 300. Right now we've been drafting behind this truck for the past like 15 miles or so, and it's gotten us down to right at 300 watt hours per mile. So we should be able to get to our destination. Fingers crossed. But I redid the navigation, it's showing, instead of -2, showing 2% when we get there. So, fingers crossed, I think we're good. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. We're getting there. I told you, we're good. We're good.
So we brought it down to about 300 on average watt hours per mile, and the trip currently is 1%. For a while there, it was nothing. Winston's doing a really good job of tucking in behind this truck
Safely.
and trying to get as tight and drafty as possible. Oh, and during our conversation, we're back to nothing. I don't know if we're gonna make it.
We're good. We're good. We got skateboards. We'll make it.
All right, next time you see us, we might be walking. the saddest looking thing you've ever seen. I'm sorry, buddy. I'll get you some more batteries soon. All right, so we've got the air conditioning off, windows down. Panic, gonna have 0% left right now, which is better than what I was showing before, I think. I did a little bit of research and it sounds like there are probably like an extra 15-20 miles in the tank. And right now we're scheduled to run out with 0 miles to go. So hopefully we're actually gonna make it to this charger, but good Lord, if it's not coming down to the wire. 10 miles to go, 10 miles to go, we can do it. We got to be able to do it. We've got 8.4 miles until our exit and 10 miles of range left. At the last stop, it showed 17 miles of range when we stopped in Missouri. And that was the lowest I'd ever seen it, and I said it then, and now look, it says 6 miles with 5 miles to go. And we've still got this horrible headwind. Look at that flag. I just panicked so bad. As soon as he hits 0, he lets off the gas, and I'm like, no! Is this our exit right here? Oh. It's coming up. Yeah, this is our exit. 216.
We got a mile.
We gotta make it a mile and a half on 0.
It says charging needed to reach destination. Oh no!
I think we can do it. Well, here I am making a video about how great electric vehicles are, and yeah, 0%. And I've been panicking for the last half hour. But fingers crossed, we made it at 0% battery.
We didn't make it yet, hold on.
I know, we gotta make it to that Kroger. Full throttle.
Ready?
Slam it. I wanna hear it. Oh, it's still got juice! We're good. There was no reason to panic. There's a cop right there. I'm just kidding. All right, battery gave up, but whoosh, we made it to the chargers. Whew. 0 miles. It's just fully empty. Oh. What are we doing? We're gonna have to push it, you know.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's supposed to. Yeah, send it my way. Oh god. Oh god. Faster. Oh. Thanks for the pickup. Appreciate you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so after our near miss, we're back in the car. We charged up 227 miles, cost $13, well, $12.82. Now we're getting back on the road for a really short leg. We got an hour drive to Little Rock, Arkansas. All right, so we're here in Little Rock, Arkansas. It's our next charging destination. We got a short charge, but this is like a giant little like parking shopping mall. And so we hooked it up and we're just cruising around checking out what we've got to go. I kind of wish that this was unoccupied because this would be super fun to fly.
We're not great.
I can't make it.
Not as easy as it looks.
It's awesome. But I am not talented enough on a skateboard.
So this makes driving a Tesla way more bearable because you can just get out and play while you're waiting for it to charge.
All right, let's get out of here before we get kicked out.
Yeah.
All right, so we just finished charging in Little Rock, Arkansas, 300 miles in the tank, almost full charge. We ended up turning what was supposed to be a 20-minute charge into 40-minute charge, but we were having so much fun riding the skateboard, and then I decided after we were done skateboarding to take longer in the facilities than expected. That's fine. So now we're gonna arrive in Texarkana in about 2 hours. With 40%, we're gonna probably top it off a little bit more than 40% so that we arrive at our destination in the Colony, Texas, with more than just the 12% that it wants us to have. So let's get on the road. Oh, by the way, price on that charge was cheaper than the other ones at $11, $10.99. So we're like, what, $45 in, something like that? It's pretty crazy. I have driven like 12 hours today. Pretty beat, to be honest. We're about to arrive in Texarkana, Texas. We're gonna get our last charge of the day, and we got at least another 3 hours to get to our destination. Look at that, that's pretty there. But yeah, we got one more charge left. We're trying to burn through some extra battery to get there. Gonna be charging for about 30 minutes. We'll probably charge it a little bit higher because then we'll arrive at our destination with a little bit more juice. We won't have to go seek out a supercharger down in the Colony, Texas. I've got the standard AC cables to plug it into the Airbnb that we're staying at, but that doesn't give us hardly anything. So I'd rather have some more juice to get around, but we'll see. The drive's going good. Tesla makes it wonderful. Like, we had some stop and go, like fully stop and go traffic early after we left Little Rock, and we just chilled here, listened to some comedy, and had a good time. Like, I could never drive this much in one day without having the ability to rely on auto drive and all this stuff. It's making it magical. So we're pulling into the Tesla chargers, and it's like a rule. You back into your charge port, but these ones are different. They're like out in the middle of the street. So I have to go in forwards in order to plug it in. And it's just so ass backwards, I can't even handle it. I've literally never seen one this direction. I kind of like it, actually. Not because I don't want to back in, but because we get our skateboards out of the trunk without having to fight with that bush.
What are we doing right now? So we just dropped off the Tesla. We're hungry. We got 40 minutes to kill. We don't need to go to Olive Garden or Chili's. We got better options.
Alright, so we just finished up charging in Texarkana. We let it charge for much longer than we needed to because we needed to go get dinner and it was a little bit of ways away. So full charge and cost $7.26, and we're gonna go the rest of the way. Actually, we're gonna add one stop on the way with about 50 miles or 50% of the battery remaining. We're gonna kind of try to get it closer to topped off so that when we arrive at our destination, we have some more charge than we would otherwise. So let's get on the road. So we're going here to Sulphur Springs, charge for a bit, and then we're carrying on our way to here-ish. Where are we at?
Sulphur Springs, Texas.
1 hour 38 left in our drive, but we're currently scheduled to arrive with 21% battery, and we want to have more than that when we get there, so we're stopping for a bit. But we found this sweet town, so we're gonna go ride around on the skateboards in this town whilst we let it charge for a bit. Finished up charging here in Sulphur Springs. We put $4 of supercharging on it and rode around in this awesome downtown, got a couple of fun little B-roll shots, got probably the thumbnail for this video, and now we've got 1.5 hours left to our final destination. We should arrive with about 50-something% battery, which is right where we want to be. So let's get back in the car and finish this bad boy off. And this whole experience being in this town is exactly why I'm totally okay with having to stop for supercharging, because there's no reason I would have ever come to this town in my lifetime. We just discovered this cool little place called Sulphur Springs, Texas. Got to drive, ride around the skateboards, check out the town, see all these cool lights, shoot some fun video and stills. Like, there's no reason for us to be here other than to charge. And I don't know, I think that adds to the sense of journey and adventure. Like, it made what was, already a 15 or 16 hour day, we decided to make it longer because we found something that we enjoyed. And it's all because we had to stop and charge our battery. I don't know if that's necessarily the best way to be thinking about it or the most efficient, but it made me happy, and I think that's what's most important. In the end, we drove about 925 miles. I've even got notes here. It took us about 16.5 hours. That's probably 2.5 to 3 hours more than it would have if we did not have to stop to charge. So bear in mind there was an extra amount of time that we did have to stop. And the total cost of supercharging was $63.98, which admittedly was actually a lot higher than I expected. I just finally did the math while I was editing this video, and I realized, oh, okay, it's not insignificant. So I compared that to a couple different mileages. So if I had a car that was getting 30 miles per gallon, which on an SUV would be ridiculous, is $86 at $2.80 at 30 miles per gallon. More realistically, like my RAV4, which is my other vehicle that I would have potentially taken to Dallas, gets 21 miles per gallon on highway. It's $123 at $2.80 at 21 miles per gallon. So it's about half the cost of fuel to supercharge your Tesla on a road trip. But I think that what you'll see from the video, or what you've seen from the video, is that it increases that joy factor, at least for me. I personally love the adventure. I don't necessarily focus just on getting to the destination, and the ability to stop in places like Sulphur Springs or to go skateboarding in the rain first thing in the morning in Effingham, Illinois, all of those things to me add to the journey, and it makes you kind of reframe and rethink. So does it suck to go on a road trip in a Tesla? I don't think so. I really, really liked it. That may not be for everyone, but for me, that was a journey, and it was extremely fun. So thanks very much for coming along with me and Winston on this adventure. We hope that you learned something about electric vehicle travel today, but I appreciate you guys hanging out. Please like and subscribe if you're interested in this and other content, and stay flying.